Mr. Beast is a criminal. I'm gonna show you why. First things first, check this video out. This is what really made me think more and more about this video. Basically, in this video, one of Mr. Beast's previous workers talks about how he promotes gambling to underage kids, fakes his challenges, and has his workers in his challenges, so he just wins the money back. I suggest checking it out because there's way more to it, as you can see, and forging signatures as well. There's a 53-minute long video. I definitely recommend checking it out, but that's not all I'm talking about today. It's something way worse. The Beast Games, is a collaboration with Amazon Prime Video, and it's basically like a huge Squid Game with 1,000 to 5,000 people, which is insane in the first place. But there's been reports coming out about how everything there was unsafe. People are getting injured. People weren't getting their medication that they need to survive. People weren't getting fed. They didn't get water. They didn't get any hygienic things, or they get it, but every few days. There's so much. I'm gonna show you guys more, but this man is a felon. He just endangered a bunch of people. First things first, here's one of the contestants. This is a thread of text from Rosanna Pansino's video sharing the conditions that the contestants faced on the Beast Games, as you can see. But first things first, starts off the contestant. I was a contestant until the end. I also didn't accept their hush money. It was really bad. People were having seizures because they were not getting medication, even though we were promised we would, and it was 100% rigged. They presented it as though the game would be like Squid Games, basically a type of game show where all the games are in an even playing field. That was not at all the case. All the games were about speed and strength, so only the young athletic males were at an advantage over the women and elderly people that were casted. To make things worse, men started realizing that they could take out the women without being eliminated. Guys started tackling and hitting women. 2 girls were tackled and passed out on the field and dragged off to continue filming. I saw people with broken bones, stitches, etc., and most were women. Now, maybe they're over-exaggerating it. I highly doubt they are. But still, half this stuff has to be true. We were given maybe 400 calories a meal and only fed every 12 hours. Food would run out and people would fight over, steal, and hoard food. It's just like Fallout. It's like a game of fucking Fallout. They're out here fighting over food. Water was scarce and kept running out as well. I had to sit with a bloody pad for 2 days before I could get undergarments and my reusable pads because I'm allergic to regular pads. That's so disgusting. Now, let me continue reading. I'll get into what I think after this. We were also sleep deprived, only allowed to sleep 3 to 4 hours. We all slept on the floor of the stadium in a $10 sleeping bag. I get that people say it's a game showing, and it's not meant to be easy. I'm not saying it should be easy, but it was presented to be like Squid Games, where competitions were not biased and didn't exclusively cater to young athletic men. It was an even playing field. People who signed up for Squid Games, not for American Ninja Warrior and Survivor. Why else would they cast elderly people on the show? Those are just the first thread of text that came out about this. There's more. They offered anyone who lost $1,000 to sign away their rights to join any kind of class action lawsuit of any kind. So what they were doing was wrong. They already knew that off rip from the start. I didn't sign, so I did not get the money. After this article came out and things started blowing up, they called everyone back and decided to offer an additional $1,000 per person to make up for the inconveniences. Quotes around inconveniences. These are not inconveniences. They knew it was bad because they also offered to provide therapy sessions using their own insurance, and it wasn't Amazon Prime that called me. It was the MrBEAST crew. So the thought of even, oh, it's Amazon's fault, like it's a big production and Amazon, there's been signs of them being horrible with workers, and it's a horrible place to work. No, it was MrBEAST. We were set up to fail, and when men started tackling people to get them out, nothing was done about it. They were not even eliminated. The game that had to do with the briefcase, it felt literally like Hunger Games, while MrBEAST is standing on his podium, looking down, watching all of us peasants fight for a chance at 5 million. I know it's a game show and it's not meant to be easy, but even with a waiver, it is a company's responsibility to have safety protocols in place to try to prevent injuries. That is not what was happening here. The fact that the nurses at the hospital in Las Vegas are also confirming all the injuries that happened is proof. They did not have to sign an NDA. There is literal proof that there was an influx of injuries and patients at the hospital. Last thing. And 5 of us so far have tested positive for COVID. Also, someone was allowed to go in with pink eye, which of course is also contagious. There were no safety protocols basically throughout the entire show. No, my thing is I get that MrBEAST has never really dealt with participants this big before, only like 100 people. But jumping to 5,000 is crazy. And also not having the right, and you're just trying to cover your ass. It seems horrible. You deserve to be in felon prison. For what you did to these people. I know it's not just you, but I feel like as a big of creator as you are, you probably have over 1 billion subscribers with all your channels combined. You can't take the extra precaution or time to make sure that these people are okay and they're getting the help that they need. It's crazy, man. Now on to my last part of this video, and the last point. A contestant from MrBEAST Games came out and talked about and made a TikTok about it. And I'm going to play that for you guys now.
So today is first morning, I guess it's afternoon now, that I've experienced being eliminated from the new MrBEAST game challenge. They eliminated 400 people the first day. Those 400 people, the majority of them were forced by the other team members to be on the specific team they were. Some were just about physically assaulted to be put onto one team, which ended up making it the weakest team, since it was a lot of elderly people, petite women, and people that they weren't willing to take on 6 guys that were surrounding them trying to take their vest so that they can actually be on that. Of the 400 people that left, the majority of them, I'd say at least half, are all extremely depressed. I don't know if I can say extremely, but I definitely know that they are depressed. As far as I've heard from so many people that I've talked to personally, as well as people that I've spoken to that are employed by other organizations that are around the games right now, a lot of people have come up and expressed that they are really not doing okay. It was so much work and exhausting to just get to that point to even be in the games, and then to be kicked out, and you kind of get ostracized. The staff, they become really cold towards you once you're actually kicked out. MrBEAST does not talk to everybody, all his fans or anything, and there's so many different things. I'll keep giving updates on this, but MrBEAST is a monster, and the games that he does are really cruel and sick. They actually had called a one kind staff member of the only three kind staff members that I came across that were really concerned about the well-being of all the people that were so distraught, had actually come to me and asked me if I was okay, and I told them I wasn't. I told them that I wanted to die, and one of them had called a psychologist to come on set and talk to me, and that psychologist had even informed me shows like MrBEAST, and I'm assuming
This man is a thug. Do you hear this, woman? Mr. Beast, it's your job as the person you play up to be to make sure that everyone is safe in your game, in your contest, whatever you're having. That's your duty and responsibility. If you don't care about them, then don't do it. You don't see me out here trying to make $1 billion business and start having thousands of people fight for $5 million. Because I know I'm not cut out for that.
Probably similar type game shows, they kind of destroy the contestants. It is extremely psychologically damaging, and I really think that it should end. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of updates that I'm going to give. I made a video last night when I was prepared and planning on killing myself last night because I have...
Do you hear that? Pause it right there. Freeze frame. Mr. Beast and not just Mr. Beast. Yeah, no, it is Mr. Beast. And his hiring staff, the staff he hired, pushed this lady to end her life.
Already lost like everything else in my life, and being a part of the Mr. Beast games just for the experience of doing fun, unique activities, it gave me something to look forward to. It gave me something to be really happy and excited about. And then when they ripped it away, my first thought was to try and figure out some way that maybe I can salvage it somehow. Do you get money from the show? Yes and no. You get fake money while you're on the show. Complete fake money, and then they take it from you right after they get their little shots done. And then they have you sign some paperwork where they tell you that they're going to send you the money at a later point in time. For me, it was supposed to be $1,000. That's like nothing. $1,000 for everything that we'd gone through. And it takes 4 months. It was going to take 4 months to get to me, as Mr. Beast and his staff knew that I was homeless and had nothing when I went on the show. And I had to buy stuff for wardrobe to be on the show. Like,
this lady is homeless. Mr. Beast, your entire persona, the first video that made you big was giving money to a homeless person. Brother, what are you doing? You can't even give her the money to pay for her wardrobe to go on the show.
I did everything that I could to try and be able to stay on the show as long as I could. And then the people on the show had such a hard time getting their medication. Many people, and these are prescription medications, many people, sometimes they hadn't gotten their medication for 2 days. Some of it was epileptic medication, really.
Now this is more than one person coming out about this and saying, oh, the medication wasn't getting on time. He's killing these people. Federal prison.
Vital, necessary medication. I know for me, every time I went to go and try and get my medication, I would have trouble as well. Sometimes just the lady distributing the medication, she would just give me a lot of attitude because I take my medication more than once in a day. And so when I'd come back, a second time or a third time, she would get irritated with me because I already got my medication. So it is Mr. Beast, he genuinely just wants to psychologically disturb people, and that's exactly what his show is. And I've heard this from a lot of reputable sources now. That show really is destroying lives, and I sadly I'm not going to be surprised if many people from the show that he's doing currently right now end up killing themselves. So
no, I don't want to write anything. You hear this, right? This man stripped 5,000 people of everything. They don't get medication that they need to live. They don't get food. They don't get water. This is horrible. Like I said, this man needs to be looked into. I don't think they're overplaying it. There's a literal article about. There's more than one article about it. Look, article. Oh no, there's only one article about it. But still, this guy belongs in federal prison. I'll say it one more time, federal prison. But that's it, man. I don't have anything. I don't have much else to say. I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all.